Hi, my grown-ups. So, Minnie is once again back with you with your grammar book, The Grammar Hub by Feathercap, at your own learning platform, Learn Forward. And today, we are going to start chapter 17, the conjunction. Not a new word for you. We have a lot many conjunctions for you in store today that you might find new. So, shall we start? So we have an exercise, rearrange the words to make meaningful sentences and put correct punctuation mark. So we'll be considering here the capital letters if needed, wherever needed, and the simple punctuation marks you have learned like a full stop, a question mark, a mark of exclamation, or a comma. Let's see. Like play 2v football. So what's the sentence here? Yes, we have already practiced in the previous session. We like to play football. And take care of a full stop at the end. It's very important. Pen, can you me lend your? Now, it can be you can lend me your pen. And then it can be a question also. Can you lend me your pen? Can you lend me your pen? Perfect. And what are you going to put at the end? Yes, a question mark, because you are putting a question here. What if you say you can lend me your pen? It will be a statement, so it will end a full stop. Painting a what beautiful. Oh, there isn't any helping verb here. So it's not going to be an interrogative sentence. So what will it be? Yes, good answer, children. Perfectly said. It will be an exclamatory sentence. What a beautiful painting. So this is an exclamation. So what mark are you going to put at the end? Brilliant answer. That is exclamatory mark. Next, the please door shut. Yes, please shut the door. So that means you have got perfect at unscrambling sentences. Very good. Now this is an imperative sentence, so you are going to put a full stop at the end of this. Now let's start our journey ahead. We'll be learning about punctuation marks. I have told you these are small special symbols that are used in writing, but they are not only used in writing, they have an impact in your speaking also. How? Let us see how important the punctuation marks are, because punctuation marks are there to give pause in your speaking also, not only while writing. You give different pauses when you are speaking, and the use, a different use of the same punctuation marks may give you a different meaning. Let's see how, students. Look at the following sentences. The monitor says the student should be punished. The monitor says the student should be punished. Now, when we are reading this, can you just identify, can you just see the way I am speaking, the pauses that I am taking? The monitor says the student should be punished. That means the student is saying these words that the monitor should be punished. The punishment should go to the monitor. This is what the student is saying, he is remarking. Now, look at the same group of words arranged in the same way but with a different punctuation marking. The monitor says, now we have changed the quotation marks. So it means whatever is said here is said by the monitor. The monitor says the student should be punished. Now, did you notice the pauses, the difference in pauses when I say? Let me repeat one more time. The monitor says the student should be punished. But in the second, I am saying the monitor says the student should be punished. So, can you see the difference? Now, in the second sentence, it means that the monitor is referring to the punishment to be given to the student. While in the first sentence, it means the other way around. The student is referring that the monitor should be punished, right? So, the Monitor says the student should be punished. The same words, the same sequence, the same set of words. The difference is only in the punctuation marks, and both are giving totally opposite meaning. That shows how important punctuation marks are, which are, I'm sorry to say, most of the times ignored. We take them very casually as an extra chapter in the book. So now onwards, you are going to make them very important part of your writing skills also. Okay. So be very careful about the punctuation marks whenever you put. And for that, we must know some rules. When is each of the punctuation mark used? So the first one we are going to do is a full stop. Yes, of course, it is put at the end of the sentences, the statements only, that is the declarative sentences, may it be affirmative or negative. So we use full stop at the end of sentences, declarative sentences. The second, like the stars are shining, I have black hair. So these are just statements, we'll put a full stop. Comma. Comma is the shortest pause in a sentence. So wherever you have to stop for a while, and why do you need to? We will use them to separate words of the same parts of speech. For example, when you are saying in a sentence, you are using different nouns, so you'll be separating them using comma. If you are using different adjectives, there also you'll be putting commas. If you are talking about different actions altogether, I know reading, writing, dancing, painting, and coloring. So I'm using so many actions, so many verbs together. I'll be separating them using comma. Okay. So this is to separate words of the same parts of speech. Like the tree is very tall, old, and green. So the adjectives are there. We are separating them using comma, and of course the last two are separated using and. So we do not use a comma there. Remember this. Okay. Next, to mark off the direct speech. Yes, we'll be learning ahead with direct and indirect speech, but here what you have to know is whenever we quote the ditto words of the speaker, then we just separate the two parts of the sentence using a comma. So first part is who said to whom. So in that we are just saying Meera said. The second part of sentence is what did Meera say? So we are quoting her words in this second part of the sentence, I am thirsty. So these two parts are separated using a comma. Coming to next, to separate the answer was yes. Sometimes when we just say yes, no, and then it is followed by a something. Yes, I like cold coffee. Yes, I like milkshakes. So yes or no. No, I don't take tea. So yes, no, after these words we put a comma. Yes, it is. Then we have just recently learnt about the question tags. Question tags are also separated from the sentence using a comma. Remember that. Yes, before a question tag. You will work hard, won't you? So we are using a comma to separate the question tag from the sentence. To separate the city and state in an address, when you write an address, so you just separate the city and the state using a comma. That shop is in Patna, Bihar. So you mean to say Patna, the city in Bihar. Next, to separate the parts of a sentence, for example, you are saying my friend and then you are telling his name also. So my friend John. So there will be a comma before and after John also, because otherwise you could have said the sentence like this, my friend took us to the circus. But this part is separated with a comma before and after it. So you are specifying which friend. You have got so many friends, so you are just specifying which friend took you to the circus. Is that clear to all of you? Can we move ahead? So are you finding this topic interesting now? I hope it will not be ignored anymore. Good. Next, question mark, that is put at the end of interrogative sentences, and yes, at the end of question tags also. So these are the two uses. When will you come? How are you feeling now? You will complete the work today, won't you? So after that also you put a question mark. Now mark of exclamations, they are put after, yes, exclamatory sentences and Interjections also, children. What an amazing performance. What a beautiful flower. Hurrah, we have won the match. So even after hurrah, that is an interjection, we put a mark of exclamation. So it does not always come at the end of the sentence. For example, when we use interjections, it is there in the beginning. Coming to next is question marks or inverted commas. The question marks are used to at the end of interrogative sentences. Sorry, this is quotation marks. The quotation marks or inverted commas, they are used when we talk about the direct speech. That means we are quoting the ditto words of the speaker. We talked about using comma while separating the two parts in direct speech. So the other part, that is the reported part, reported speech, the words of the speaker, they are put in inverted commas. The teacher said, hard work is the key to success. So what are the words of the teacher? They will be quoted between these inverted commas. They are called the quotation marks. The speaker said, we must do our duty. So what are the words of the speaker? We must do our duty. So this will come in quotation mark again. Coming to next is apostrophe. That is used in contractions. That is also used to show possession in nouns. So I hope you already remember what are contractions and what is showing possession in nouns. We have already done in that topic. Like this is contraction. Are not is written as aren't. I will written as is written as I'll. Will not is written as won't. So these are the contractions. Do not becomes don't, did not becomes didn't. Right? Now to show belongingness, possession in nouns, we say Kiara's room looks beautiful. So it means possession, the room of Kiara. This is John's dog. That means the dog of John. Right? So this is the use of apostrophe. So I hope this much is clear to you. Was that interesting? So let's do an exercise on how much you have learned. Put full stop, question mark and exclamation mark in the following sentences. So you just have to identify what type of sentence it is. Did you enjoy Rahul's birthday party? Yes, it's a question. Perfect question mark. Does it hurt badly? Again a question mark. Okay, what a pleasant day it is. It's exclamation. Easy for you? So the rest too, do it yourself. Let's move to the next now. Use of capital letters is very important, children. What you know is we always begin a fresh sentence with a capital letter. Every new sentence begins with a capital letter. Our holidays, it is starting with capital. Then there is a full stop, a new sentence. We are going to Shimla. Again, it's capital letter starting with capital W. For proper nouns also, all proper nouns, and in fact, each word in the proper noun starts with a capital letter. Like, we live in Delhi. If you say New Delhi, there are two words, you will write N capital there. I live in New Delhi, the capital of India. We are Indians. So, Indians is proper noun, then India is proper noun, New Delhi, N and D, both will start with capital letter. Next, when you read poems, have you ever realized that not the sentences, each line in the poem starts with a capital letter. On a stone chair in the marketplace sits a stone gentleman with a stone face. So see, this is not the end of the sentence. There is no full stop. But because it is marking the end of one line in the poem, so we are starting the new line with a capital letter. Okay, so you can just open your books and read any of the poems there. You will find each line beginning with a capital letter. Next, to begin the first word of a direct quotation. So when we talk in direct speech, the words of the speaker, that is the reported speech there. Although it is not the beginning of the sentence, we say the teacher said, I am proud of my children. So it's not a new sentence, but still that will start with a capital letter again in the inverted commas. Ramesh said, it is not the end of one sentence, but this new sentence within the quotation mark will also start with a capital letter. Tea is grown in Assam. A is capital because it is a proper noun. Coming to next. For the pronoun I and interjection O, wherever they come in the sentence, maybe beginning, middle or end, they will always be capital. Okay. I, whenever it stands alone like a pronoun, then it is always capital. Now, it's time to recall what we have learned in this session on punctuation marks and capital letter. You have understood now the glow, the spark on your face shows now with reading that example about the monitor and student conversation, how important it is to use punctuation marks correctly, right? So, punctuation marks are the small symbols which mark the difference. They just change the meaning if you put them in some other order. A full stop is used at the end of sentences. They are simple statements. Then a comma is used to separate the same parts of the speech in a sentence. It is also used after the yes, no in the sentences. Then we have done other uses also, like we use them to separate the city with the state when we are just writing the address. So you have to be careful about all those rules. A question mark, yes, at the end of interrogative sentences and question tags. Perfect. Then exclamatory marks after interjections and exclamatory sentences. Quotation marks, they are used to quote the ditto words of the speaker. Then apostrophe, we have learned they are used, apostrophe is used for contractions and to show noun possessive cases. Then capital letters, we have learned the different uses where to use capital letter, and they are very important to remember and practice. And believe me, just sitting and learning the rules will not make you perfect at punctuation marks and capital letters. Practice them and be sure that whenever you are putting a punctuation mark or you are putting a capital letter, you must have a reason for it. Why am I doing this? And you will learn them by heart. Next. So it's time to practice. Take the correct answer. A full stop is used at the end of assertive and imperative sentences, for initials, for our abbreviations, all of the above. Yes, a full stop is used with all these. We use them even in initials. We also use them for abbreviations, like for USA, you say USA, the United States of America. So we put there. If you talk about your father's initials, you'll say my father's name is, when I say my father's name, I say D, I talk about his initials, I say DLM, right? So I'll, in place of saying Shri Darshan Lal Medirata, I say DLM. Okay? Next, a question mark is placed at the end of what? Which type of sentences? Interrogative sentences. Yes, perfect, it's here. The shortest pause in a sentence. Which is the shortest pause? Yes, it is a comma. Next, a full stop is dash in a sentence. It is a longest pause because actually that shows the end of the sentence, right? So let's move ahead now. Rewrite the following sentences, inserting punctuation marks and capital letters wherever necessary. So we'll just recall all the rules, and wherever we'll use, we will be particular about saying the reason. Let us see how. We'll do some, rest you will do yourself. I'll say O capital. This is the beginning of the sentence. I say M capital because this is a proper noun. I put a comma here because I am using the names of the days here. So I am separating them using comma. Again, W is capital because it is a proper noun. F is capital because it is a proper noun. So can you see, whatever changes I am making, I am reading, I am speaking the reason for it. And when you speak out the reason so many times, when you find them out, if you get stuck somewhere, of course, all the rules will get stuck here. They'll be pasted forever. So on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, we read, oh, these are subjects again. So again, capital letter, proper nouns, comma, same part of speech. Hindi capital H, mathematics capital M. Now, that's the end of the sentence. So, I'm going to put a full stop. So, that way you are going to do all these sentences. Let's do more. The teacher said. So, beginning of the sentence will be capital. Is teacher a proper noun? No. So, will not make it capital. The teacher said. Okay. So, that means I am talking about direct speech now. So, I'll put a comma here and I'll start with the reported speech in inverted commas, and the new sentence within quotations will start with a capital letter. One reason is this. Second reason is Lala Lajpat Rai. It's a proper noun. That way also it will start with a capital letter. So L will be capital here. Second word of the name will also be capital. Third word in the proper noun will also be capital. This is how you are going to do each of these sentences, children. Was a great. It is again a proper noun, Indian. Leader is not a proper noun, and this whole is also not a proper noun, that each word will be capital. So leader is not going to be capital. Now end of the sentence I'll put full stop, and end of the reported speech I will close my quotation marks. Do that way, children. Believe me, you will go perfect. Only one more I am going to do for you. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. Okay. D will be capital. We put a full stop after R because doctor is the short form. We write like this. Now APJ, these are the initials of his name. So A capital, full stop. Then P capital, full stop. J capital, full stop. Next word in his name is Abdul. So A will again be capital. Kalam, K will again be capital. Can you see how much energy you have to put in? Yes. So Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now I am explaining who Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So I'll put a comma here. Former President of India. So this is a designation here. P will be capital. I is a proper noun. I will be capital. Addressed the nation. Now, do you remember I told you, you will be using a comma before and after this. So I'll put a comma here after this. Addressed the nation, and end of the sentence. It's a full stop. So 7 more sentences to do, but once you do with reasoning out each step you are taking, you are sure to go perfect. Will you like to do this exercise yourself the same way? Okay, that's cheers on your part. So if you get stuck anywhere, I'm here to help your children, but you can just scroll back the pages of the rules that you have learned and read them if you get stuck anywhere, or just watch back the video for all the rules that we have to follow. That's the easiest way out. So practice this exercise yourself and you will find fun, really. And we'll be coming ahead with more interesting chapters in grammar and making fun learning for you. Till then, happy learning.